Okay, recording started. Cool. So just to share some quick stats as of 17th of October, today, we had 42 sessions so far. We had over 75 guest speakers guiding us here at AHF. And 91 past members got a successful were successful in getting the job or transition in their career. And also we have over 1,800 members on LinkedIn and counting. So it's really exciting. Our org is growing, and we have Americo the Costa as a speaker today. Americo the Costa is a live stream and on-demand event specialist and personal branding strategist who helps professional and businesses broadcast their brilliance. He specializes in designing and producing strategic virtual events and live stream to build trust, drive engagement, and create social authority. We have a lot to learn from him about like everything, and I'm looking forward to learn from him about the live streaming and what guidance he has. But before all that, I just want to ask a question to Americo. Americo, can you share one piece of insider knowledge that many job seekers might not be aware, but would find incredibly helpful?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. Before I dive in and answer your question, why don't we all put our hands together for our guests, our master of ceremonies, who he did a fantastic job. So I'm pleased to be here. The question of what I could share is we may not think about this, but during our job search journey, we are our own marketing advocates, marketing agency, and no one other than ourselves is responsible for our success. Now, many job seekers take the opportunity to post once, "Hey, I'm open to work. Can you help?" And I see people just walk away after that post and cross their fingers. Hope is not a strategy. And I will share my narrative, my story, as to what brought me here, if you're open to hearing it.
Awesome. Thank you, Americo. We appreciate that. And the floor is yours. Please do share and guide us.
Fantastic. Listen, I had a fantastic corporate career. I was in the financial service industry, started in banking, spent the bulk of it in insurance, and ended in credit. Post-pandemic, I was laid off 3 times. So on paper, my resume appears to be, someone who's very transient in work, may not be able to secure work. But rest assured, any of you who are here who have been looking for work, have found themselves in a similar predicament, or are on a long journey and find that it's taking longer than you anticipated to get back to work, we're here to support you. My journey, this happened by accident. While I was looking for work since my last layoff, it came to my attention that, using my cross-functional skills, my customer experience skills, my marketing, that I had to market myself. And everyone in this room who's looking for work, you are the product. You are the commodity that employers are looking for. And it is our responsibility to put our best foot forward. I'll be the first to tell you, I don't enjoy writing. I don't enjoy reading. Give me something that I can listen to. Give me something that I can watch. And that's how I learn best. And I learned that and came to that realization not too long ago. It was the end of last year. After understanding, you got to be present. You got to show up where your community is. And that community could be future employers, your network. But if you're showing up and your message and your engagement and your reach isn't resonating, then you got to come up with something different. Don't rely on hope that things will change. And that's where I am today. That's where I find myself today. I have transitioned to help others be seen, be heard, and be remembered. I stepped away from the keyboard, and I refer to myself as the keyboard warrior. I'm less of a keyboard warrior today. I'm bringing my audible presence. I'm bringing my visual presence. And people can now hear my thoughts. They can feel my passion. And that that visibility, your voice has an extreme power to captivate an audience. I now host, by design, to help the job seeking community. I host events that are catered to job seekers to allow for them to join and share my stage so that leaders in organizations and attendees at my events can hear and understand the thought leadership that you bring. And we're all one introduction away from making that breakthrough and getting, whether it's to get that interview or to get that next job offer. And there's no better way of doing it than to do it live, because you're reaching out in real time. Where your content, you might put a comment and you might send an email, which I don't discourage from doing. Continue doing that. The more things you do to separate yourself, the better you're going to find an outcome. I'm going to pause there for a second in case you want to take over, because I can talk for hours.
No. I'm literally taking notes, and there's so many gold gems Americo you is sharing. So if you want to keep going, please go ahead.
Yes, absolutely. All right. So when you're looking for work and you're focusing on your social footprint, it is extremely important to try not to, as much as we are all leaning into AI, use AI as a tool and not as a resource that you're cutting and pasting. The biggest thing that I'm recognizing is how everyone, or the majority of people, or more and more people, are starting to sound, read, and feel the same. Called that vanilla that everyone is starting to assimilate. You want to separate yourself. You hear the reference comparing yourself apples to apples when you go shopping or you're doing product reviews. You compare apples to apples. Well, you don't just want to be another apple. You want to be an orange in a basket of apples. You want to set yourself apart. So when you're looking at your social footprint, make no mistake, because of AI, I have recruiting TAs, hiring managers who now go to social media to try to align resumes with personalities and personas. This person on paper reads one way. Let's see how this person shows up. And they will visit your Facebook page. They will visit your LinkedIn page. They will look you up on all social channels and see how you present yourself, how you articulate yourself, and if whether or not that aligns with the company culture. Another reason why I leaned into the live streaming, because it's not polished. This is raw. This is unrehearsed, unscripted. You're hearing me talking in real time. I'm not reading from any script, but you get to hear the passion that I have for helping job seekers. When I was in the corporate ecosystem, I had the opportunity to lead, develop hundreds of people, hundreds of professionals. And it's one thing that to this day that I'm very proud of and still happy to do, is help lead, support, and develop people to attain the roles that they aspire to attain. So I want to share a few tips with LinkedIn specifically. When you're looking at your profile and you hear people talk about profile optimization, keep this in mind. Optimizing your profile can mean many different things. People will say, those who have the recruiter license, they use keywords that are captured from your headline, your about section, your skills. I heard someone mention earlier, hey, reach out to people when you connect. If people accept your connection, take it beyond the click. That is part of profile optimization. You don't want to just click to add a number to your community and to your network. You want to reach out. You want to thank them, welcome them to your community. Invite those who align with you, who might be able to help you get a foot in some door. Invite them to a conversation. You'd be surprised how philanthropic the LinkedIn community is and how much people are willing to give back to help others move up. Another thing that I now pay closer attention is in terms of engagement. Nobody wants to be a content creator. But the sad reality and the truth, when you're a job seeker, you have to be some form of content creator. You have to create content so that the algorithm pushes your profile and gives you visibility for those who are looking for like-minded professionals. Now, for some, that could be and could mean simply engaging through comments. You'll hear a lot of top voices and a lot of LinkedIn gurus saying that an engagement strategy is as good as, if not better, than a content strategy. Because when you're posting and you have your community, no matter how big it is or how small it is, your content is going to be pushed out to an average of 2 to 5% of your community. Depends on how quickly and your community engages and responds to that content you put out. Based on that reaction, based on that engagement, the algorithm then decides whether or not it's going to push it out to a larger audience. Where if you're engaging through comments and you're jumping into company pages, company profiles, engaging in their posts, you're now putting yourself in front of those community members, those who align with you professionally and those who might be able to get you a foot in. And that foot in doesn't necessarily mean an immediate job offer or an interview, but if you can gain the trust and the visibility from someone who works there, you now have brought yourself one step closer and have earned the right to invite that person to a conversation. Get some insight as to what it's like to work at that organization. Get some insight as to who you might be able to reach out to and connect. So networking needs to be something other than just a click to connect and a click to accept. A lot of people, here's my last advice, and then we'll pause and open for questions. A lot of people question me when I remove people from my community. Every year, I remove an average of 1,000 community members. Someone reaches out to me a year from now, we may not be aligned. They may have shifted into a different industry. They may have joined and we may no longer be aligned. So the key or the message that I'm trying to get to is you want to be relevant at all times. Some of you might find yourselves in a position where you're pivoting and you're trying to get and make some headways into different industries. Reach out, be diverse in your networking. Do not put yourself in a silo and connecting with friends and colleagues and professionals from the same industry, because you're only going to limit yourself. Different organizations, different business leaders, solopreneurs, professionals on this platform, those who host live events, attend those live events. Go look at the events tab in your LinkedIn profile and you'll see what's coming up. If it's relevant to you, register. Yes, you might be put on an email list, but you can always unsubscribe to that email list. But you never know who's attending and who's listening. And if you get the opportunity, whether it's through comments or whether it's through an opportunity to join the stage, you'll be listened to by a greater audience. Going live also provides one opportunity that no one does as good of a job as they could, including myself. Once you attend a live event, the one thing you want to consider doing is posting some content. Share with your community where you've been. Invite them to join you where you're at and repurpose your key findings, your learnings, what you took away from that, and share that with your community. You're then going to get attention of the hosts, the attendees. They know that you're paying attention. They're understanding through your written word what you took away from that particular session. You're now sharing your thought leadership with the rest of the community. And that does more than any resume can do. Recruiters, they suggest resumes be no more than 2 pages. But when you've had so many years of experience and equity built up in a career, it's hard to compress all your experience into 2 pages. Sometimes you're going to miss things. Sometimes you're going to wish, man, I wish I had more room for this particular set of skills and accountabilities. But when you start planting seeds at events around your social footprint, guess what that does? It continues to work for you even when you're not present. People who visit your profile will see that you're active. They'll take interest in what you're doing, where you've been. They may not be the people or the person who can hire you on the spot, but they could be the person who's going to recommend you and invite you to an introduction, a virtual introduction of some sort. Hey, you're going to want to meet Americo. He's not hiring, but he's got a deep recruiter community that he might be able to introduce you to. All right, I'm going to get off my soapbox here for a second and answer some questions.
All right. Thank you so much for Amerigo. That was a really golden advice. I got a lot of questions too, and I know a lot of other people as well. So we'll stop recording and open up for the questions. We appreciate